2 verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed.
Right. So if you know anything about fruits, man, you're gonna know that you can't mix fruits. Just like that's Esau's understanding of how things are supposed to be. But the righteous way is that every person, every people or nation is supposed to have their own thing, and each nation has their own land, has their own customs. All right, but the Lord is setting up here. He chose one nation. He chose one vine. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
brother.
this is right on point what you're saying. Isaiah 5:2, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choice vines, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
All right, brother, break it down.
It says, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof. That's talking about Yahweh Shai. The thing that he fenced is talking about the nation of Israel, okay? That's what the brother's going into with the grapes. It says, and planted in it the choicest vines, yeah. Because the nation of Israel is supposed to be that choicest vine.
Right.
Why? Because the Lord gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments. He said this is supposed to be your wisdom amongst the nations. That's why it be that choicest vine. He says, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. Now it was supposed to bring forth the right grapes, okay, but it brought forth wild grapes because Jake went off. Okay, that's how they became wild, because they was going into different philosophies. Then they got scattered amongst other nations. That's how they became wild. All right, so that's
bad. That's a bad breakdown.
Let me read this again.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned unto the How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
And that's talking about the wild grapes. That's how they turned into that degenerate vine unto the Lord. When they became wild, they started going. Niggas is wilding. You know.
And when you look up that word degenerate in the online etymology dictionary, it means to be not like your own people. All right, to fall from ancestral qualities. All right. So when the Lord called you degenerate, mean you was acting like the other nations. You wasn't acting like the people that He chose.
Right. Yeah, degenerate. Gene. That's where the base of that word, like generation, gene. So it's seed. So you being opposite D. Like, you being opposite of your own seed.
All right, brother.
Is there scripture for you?
All right, brother. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Bring it out.
It's Deuteronomy 32 and 32.
Right.
For the vine is of the vine of Sodom, and the field of Gomorrah. Their grapes and the grapes of the gall and the cluster are bitter.
It's talking about America. Read that again.
For the vine is of the vine of Sodom.
Right, it's talking about right here in America, right? Their vine is of the vine of Sodom. And what did you have in Sodom? Faggots, lesbians, people having sex with animals, people committing incest, all right? People doing all wicked abominations, all right? America's vine is as a vine of Sodom. That's why you read in Revelation 11 and 8, it tells you that it was spiritually Sodom.
And the fields of Gomorrah.
And fields of Gomorrah, which is another city of faggots and lesbians and freaks, all right?
Their grapes and the grapes of the galls, their clusters are bitter.
Right, America's clusters is bitter, right? Because it's nothing but unrighteousness and wickedness that's found in America.
That's right. Yes. All right, brother. So go back to that scripture about the nations as a drop in the bucket.
Isaiah chapter 40 verse 15.
Right.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Right.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold.
Yeah, the small dust of the balance. If you take a flake of dust and you put it on a balance, balance weighs things, no weight is going to come from it. It's not going to move, okay? So the other nations ain't shit to the Most High. Go ahead.
Behold, He taken up the isles as a very little thing.
Right, yeah. The isles is a very little thing, man. Them Ammonites over there, them Polynesians, okay? Most High's jacking their asses up, man. Go ahead.
The 17th verse. All nations before Him are as nothing,
Right.
and they have counted as less than nothing and
Right.
vanity.
Right. Hey, that's plain. All nations before him, all nations before him are as nothing. All right. All right. So, you know, we're gonna get into another topic right quick. We're gonna go into it. Get that in the Apocrypha.
All right.
Get that right quick. So, you know.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Read it.
Okay. Ecclesiasticus.
Hey, brother, turn the camera over to that and focus on it real good. All right, go ahead, read it.
Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 9.
Right?
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Yeah, and that's the majority of you women out here, man. Especially the nigga woman, man. All right? Latino Native American woman, man. All right? The haughtiness of woman shall be known in her eyelids. What do you mean you can't judge a book by its cover? That's all bullshit. All right? All right? That proud look that the nigga woman walks around man, with. All right? Go ahead.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly,
Right?
lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
Yeah, and you see this madness here? Okay? Because the majority, all of you Negro women, you Latino women, and most of you Native American women, you're shameless, man. You walk outside being a fucking slut and harlot, man. All right? You fucking everybody. You dressing like a harlot. Your proud stride that you walk down the street with. All right? So the majority of you women are shameless, man. Okay? Go ahead. And you're supposed to keep her in straightly. But you can't do that in this society because the so-called white man isn't ruling shit, man. She'll call the cops on you or BCW. Go ahead.
Watch over an impudent eye,
Right?
and marvel not if she trespass. Watch over an impudent eye,
Right?
and marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Right?
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler.
Yeah, well, you see the nigga woman, she sleeps with anybody and everybody, man.
Suck all type of
You see, she got this gook, man. You know? She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, man. You see this madness, man? This is who you praise and champion, man. The fucking black bitch, man. She's sleeping with all nations under the sun. And that kid and that little bastard that she's holding, he's going to be in slavery in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right? Because the man carries the seed. 1 Corinthians 11th chapter on down. Go ahead.
When he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her, by every hedge will she sit down.
Yeah, being a hoe and a slut. Go ahead.
And open her quiver against every arrow.
And open her quiver, open her legs. All right? Her nasty ass box to every arrow. Look at that. She let some little 3-inch rod, 3-inch dick goop pump seed in her and have a tear. Because that's a tear, man. And the Lord already told you that the tears are going to be burnt up, man. All right? Because the man carries the seed. All right? Go ahead.
The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones.
Yeah, but the nigga woman ain't got no discretion. She's undisciplined, man. Wants and eyes. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Yeah, well, we can do away with the Negro woman. All right. Good. That's plain. That's plain, man. And you so-called black men and Latino men, Native Americans should know about that, man. Read that part again.
All right. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Right. That's right. Go ahead.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double.
She ain't faithful, man. Because she's sleeping with the other nations, man. All right? Go ahead.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace.
Right.
And her continent mind cannot be valued.
All right. Go ahead. Read it.
Amos chapter 7 verse 17. Therefore just say the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city.
There you go. And that's plain. That wife shall be a harlot. Our wives is what? Our women of the nation of Israel. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. She's going to be a harlot in the city. All right?